Hello everybody, this is Dr. Casen and Dr. Bob DeMaria, and we are joining you tonight for our most popular topic. It is Thyroid Awareness Month, and I know we always have huge responses from our audience and questions that are coming in for Ask Dr. Bob about the thyroid, so we are going to have an action-packed short session tonight. So let's get started. Why is thyroid health so important, Dr. Bob?
Well, I can tell you right now, most people, at least a third of the people in the world right now have subpar thyroid function. The thyroid gland is the gas pedal to your body. So I know there's a lot of people in the United States right now in sub-zero weather, and it's cold, but I know that it's cold for myself, but my bones don't feel cold. And that's what I learned a long time ago was in September, if you go outside and it's 40 degrees and you're freezing, chances are you have subpar thyroid function. Common body signals for low thyroid are cold hands, cold feet, wide spaced teeth, fatigue, morning headache, high cholesterol, constipation, and the big one that gets a lot of people, Dr. Casen, is thinning hair. So you're going to want to go back and play this again because those are really important body signals, and we get a lot of traction because of the thinning hair. I just talked to a lady today in Florida. So, you know, Dr. Bob, you're the first person who ever told me about thinning hair, and I ask people about it all the time, and nobody ever mentions that in the thyroid. Oh, and thinning eyebrows.
And what's really interesting is this isn't specific for older women or older men. This is, and I know I was reviewing your female hormone book today because so many ladies, they come in their 20s or even younger. I know, especially with us seeing kids in our office, your kids right now at home could have growing pains.
Very good. You're students. You got that.
No, so growing pains.
I had those when I was a kid.
With it, your parents might think, oh, just give them some milk or increase their calcium,
Okay.
but
Give them some milk.
But it could be coming from other things. So this is really important for you, whatever age you are, because it starts when we're younger and when we're kids. So why don't you talk about what the thyroid gland is responsible for?
Well, here's a thyroid gland right here. And it's very significant in the fact that it really does control the metabolism in your body. And a lot of people say, I went to my doctor and he said my thyroid gland was normal. So you kind of write this down. Most of the time they only test for TSH, Tom, Sammy, Harry, Tom, Sam, Harry. Your brain sends thyroid stimulating hormone and it tells the thyroid what to do. Traditionally, if your TSH is elevated, you have a low thyroid. But we also know that you could have a TSH that is high and they tell you have a low thyroid gland, but in fact it could be because of stress also, Dr. Casen. So we do all the numbers, TSH, T3, and T4. And one last thought, somebody could have an autoimmune problem, which is Hashimoto's. You're going to want to have a TPO test done. Because we had a lady came in today, was 1,200 and normal is 34 or less. One of the leading causes of Hashimoto's, gluten. People have nodules on their thyroid gland. Pretty amazing, isn't it?
And what's really interesting is I know all of you out there watching some of these body signals, whether it was cold hands, cold feet, thinning hair, constipation, depression also.
Thank you.
That is a really big one because most, even kids today, they're having some challenges emotionally, and then what happens is they get put on these antidepressant medications, and then after that we start seeing the thyroid medications, and then they get their thyroid out, and then that can lead to other things. So let me ask you, so at home right now, for some of you, if you raised your hands, and give us some love out there, we like the little faces, but if you have any of those body signals, where do you start? What do you do?
Well, you know what? I think that you should probably go to the druglessdoctor.com website and probably at least consider having a thyroid panel done. Because we see a lot of people that are wrongly managed with thyroid. I had a lady that came in just the office the other day, was on thyroid meds for 20 years. Now, what we do is we help people make appropriate and necessary lifestyle changes, and their thyroid gland can kick back in gear. But Dr. Casen, one of the leading causes of thyroid is lack of iodine. And what we do in our practice is that we'll do a TSH, a T3, and a T4. If your T4 is less than the midline, which should be 8, we may consider supplementing with iodine. The most scientific test to do is a urine iodine loading test. It's a urine test, and it helps us determine the exact levels of iodine in your body. As a side note, if you don't have enough iodine, you may have cysts on your breast, and that's what you see. You want to briefly mention that with the breast cysts and the thermography?
Yes, so what we've started doing, so in the last 5 years, we've been doing breast thermography in our office. And what's amazing is a lot of women might have cysts on their breasts, but also on their ovaries, and you might not even be aware of it. Or you might go to your OB and they'll tell you that you have a cyst on your ovary, but not to worry about it. So that is one of the common areas. I know in our office, we also use a liquid iodine.
That's right.
And we recommend that ladies put 1 to 2 drops on their breasts as well as on their ovaries, especially if you have PCOS, and this is huge. You could most likely have a low thyroid and maybe not have been properly managed, because a lot of people now, when they come into our office and we sit down, we start talking about all these body signals, and we say, you know, based on this, you could have possibly low thyroid, and they always say, nope, it's normal. They've already done all the tests, and we say, did they look at them? Yep, they already looked at them, but a lot of times they're not looking at the averages and other factors that could be going on in the low thyroid.
And they oftentimes just do only the TSH. So
what
I'm holding here is a shower dechlorinator. Now this, I just took it out of the shower. This is like the real deal right here. This comes out of the house, and you can put your nozzle here. The reason I'm bringing this up, and I talk about this in Dr. Bob's Drugless, Dr. Bob's Guide to Prevent Surgery, is that chlorine, bromine, and fluorine antagonize iodine. And I actually wrote about this a lot in the Prevent Surgery book, and we also talk about it in the Female Hormone book. Bromine, fluorine, and chlorine antagonize iodine. A shower dechlorinator will help that. And I want you to know that I take at least 1 iodine tablet every day of my life, because as a male, it helps my prostate. Iodine is important for your thyroid gland, breast tissue, ovaries, and the prostate gland. You know, Dr. Casen, a simple test that someone can do. Now, this is a thermometer that I have from 1978. I hold on to everything. No, not really. From my old days of doing dipping x-ray. And so this was how we used to measure the water. But in the morning, when you first get up, you can get a thermometer and put it in your armpit. So you wake up, you don't go to the bathroom or anything, you put this in your armpit. The temperature should be 97.8 or above. If it's 97.8 or below, and you do it for 3 days in a row, you're going to want to contact the drugless doctors. And you know, you can come to see us at our Naples office in Florida or our Cleveland office, because we do have people that I talk to all over the world, and they come to see us.
So let me ask you, what foods do you think would we avoid, and what ones should we promote?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I would not do any soy at all. And be aware of what foods may have bromine, fluorine, and chlorine in it. Sea vegetables are not a bad thing to do. There's a lot of controversy also, Dr. Casen, about cruciferous vegetables. So here's a statistic. Between 5 and 14% of the people in the United States today ate their servings of fruits and vegetables. Now, we don't really promote fruit. We're primarily a vegetable family. So if 14% of the people ate that, but 1/3 of the world have subpar thyroid, cruciferous vegetables, most people watching this right now haven't had broccoli in years, unless they put Cheese Whiz on it or something. So if you're going to eat vegetables, you could do saute them or steam them, and that would really help a lot.
And put some real butter and Celtic sea salt on them too, because sometimes people say, I don't like the taste of vegetables. So you want to figure it out, because you want to make sure that you're eating living minerals and fresh food. So as we're wrapping this up, any final tips on thyroid function for all these people that are watching us?
Well, I can tell you, you made a very valid point. Depression is very common with people that have a low thyroid gland. And so if you have subpar thyroid, if you have an issue with depression, you really might want to come and see us and have a conversation with us. This is very serious. You could be watching us anywhere in the world, or especially in the United States right now. We are available to make that thyroid test for you, and we could talk to you on the phone and help you out. So that was really good. I know that we're going to make a big difference in a lot of people. I'm Dr. Bob DiMaria, and this is
Dr. Casen DiMaria.
Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.